For 15 years, he was the face of Dancing with the Stars, the charismatic host who guided us through every cha-cha and tango. His witty remarks and effortless charm made him a household name, a comforting presence in a world of sequins and spray tans. But behind the glittering mirror ball, a storm was brewing, and Tom Bergeron's sudden exit left fans with more questions than answers. Now, he's back, but the story of his departure is darker than you ever imagined. It's a tale of broken promises, backstage battles, and a betrayal that sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. This isn't just about a host leaving a show. It's about a man who stood his ground and paid the ultimate price. What really happened behind the scenes of one of television's most beloved shows? The truth is more shocking than any cha-cha could ever be. In July 2020, the news broke like a thunderclap. Tom Bergeron, the man who had been the heart and soul of Dancing with the Stars since its inception, was out. There was no grand farewell, no tearful goodbye on live television. Instead, he announced his departure on social media, a move that left fans reeling. "Just informed our Dancing ABC will be continuing without me," he wrote. "It's been an incredible 15-year run, and the most unexpected gift of my career. I'm grateful for that, and for the lifelong friendships made." The network's official statement was vague, citing a new creative direction as the reason for his dismissal. But for those who had followed the show for years, this explanation felt hollow. It was a cold, corporate response to the exit of a man who had become synonymous with the show itself. The timing was strange, the reasoning even stranger. It was clear that there was more to the story than the network was letting on. And as the days turned into weeks, the shocking truth began to emerge, piece by painful piece. This was no amicable parting of ways. This was a firing, and the reasons behind it were far more explosive than anyone could have predicted. At the heart of the controversy was a single, divisive casting choice: former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. In 2019, as the country was gearing up for a contentious election year, the producers of Dancing with the Stars made the decision to bring a political figure into the ballroom. For Tom Bergeron, this was a line in the sand. He had always believed that the show should be an escape from the divisiveness of politics, a place where viewers could come together for 2 hours of pure entertainment. He had even met with producers before the season began to express his concerns, urging them to steer clear of any political bookings. He felt so strongly about this that he made it a point to have separate lunches with 2 of the showrunners, both of whom, he claims, agreed with his position. He left those meetings feeling confident that the show would remain a politics-free zone. But just a few weeks later, he was blindsided. The news that Sean Spicer would be joining the cast was a direct contradiction of everything he had been led to believe. It was a move that would not only change the course of the show, but also set in motion a chain of events that would lead to Bergeron's dramatic and controversial exit. The battle lines had been drawn, and for the beloved host, there was no turning back. The casting of Sean Spicer was more than just a disagreement for Tom Bergeron. It was a betrayal. He had been given assurances, he believed, that the show would not venture into the murky waters of politics. But now, he found himself in the uncomfortable position of having to host a show that was doing exactly that. "I said, guys, this is exactly what we said we wouldn't do," he recalled on the Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans podcast. The sense of being lied to was palpable, and his frustration grew with each passing day. He was so incensed by the decision that he even offered to sit out the season, a move that would have been unprecedented in the show's history. But the producers called his bluff. If he chose to take the season off, they told him, he would be in breach of his contract, a contract that extended until season 30. He was trapped, forced to choose between his principles and his job. "I knew it was happening, and my temper kicked in," he admitted. The man who was known for his cool and calm demeanor on screen was now embroiled in a heated, behind-the-scenes battle. The show that had been the most unexpected gift of his career was now the source of his greatest frustration. The trust had been broken, and the once harmonious relationship between host and producers was now fractured beyond repair. In a move that stunned the television industry, Tom Bergeron decided to take his fight public. He released a statement on social media, a carefully worded but unmistakable critique of the producer's decision to cast Sean Spicer. He didn't have to name names. The message was crystal clear. "A few months ago, during a lunch with DWTS new executive producer, I offered suggestions for season 28, he wrote. Chief among them was my hope that DWTS, in its return following an unprecedented 2-season hiatus, would be a joyful respite from our exhausting political climate and free of the inevitably divisive bookings from any party affiliations. He went on to say, "We can agree to disagree, as we do now, but ultimately it's their call." The statement was a masterclass in passive aggression, a public airing of grievances that sent shockwaves through the network. He had dared to challenge the authority of the producers, to question their judgment in a very public forum. And he did it without giving them a heads up. "They didn't deserve to know," he later said. This was a calculated move, a power play by a man who felt he had been backed into a corner. He was no longer just the affable host. He was a man on a mission, determined to let the world know that he had been wronged. The public statement was a point of no return, a bold act of defiance that would ultimately seal his fate. As fans scrambled to make sense of his sudden firing, a new theory began to circulate. Could his appearance on the competing network's hit show, The Masked Singer, have been the final nail in the coffin? It was a plausible theory, at least on the surface. In the cutthroat world of television, loyalty is everything, and appearing on a rival show could be seen as a major betrayal. But Tom Bergeron was quick to shut down the speculation, and he did it in his own inimitable style. "Come on, get a life, really," he said, dismissing the rumor with a laugh. "I was a F King Taco singing Sinatra. I'm sure that's not a reason to fire someone." His candid and humorous response was a reminder of the wit and charm that had made him such a beloved host. But beneath the humor was a steely resolve. He was not going to let the narrative be twisted, to let the real reason for his firing be obscured by baseless rumors. He reiterated that his dismissal was a direct result of his public criticism of the producers, of his refusal to back down in the face of what he saw as a betrayal. He had called them out for being liars, and for that, he had paid the price. The taco costume was just a red herring, a distraction from the real drama that was unfolding behind the scenes. In the years following his departure, Tom Bergeron has not minced words when it comes to his feelings about the way he was treated. In a particularly revealing interview on the Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans podcast, he laid it all out on the table. "They screwed me," he said, the anger still evident in his voice. "I'm gonna screw them." It was a raw and unfiltered look at the bitterness and resentment that had been simmering beneath the surface. He went on to explain that his public statement was a direct response to the producer's dishonesty. He wanted the viewers to know that he had been thrown a curveball, that the casting of a Sean Spicer was as much of a surprise to him as it was to them. The decision to go public was not one he took lightly, but he felt he had no other choice. "They had screwed me," he repeated, the words hanging in the air like a heavy cloud. This was not just a disgruntled employee airing his grievances. This was a man who felt his integrity had been compromised, his trust violated. He had given 15 years of his life to the show, had helped build it into a cultural phenomenon, and in the end, he had been cast aside for daring to speak his mind. The feeling of being screwed was not something he was going to forget anytime soon. Looking back, Tom Bergeron admits that he saw the writing on the wall long before he was officially fired. The show that he had once loved, the show that had brought him so much joy, was no longer the same. In all candor, "The show that I left was not the show that I loved," he said on the Here For You podcast in 2021. The controversy over the Sean Spicer casting had cast a long shadow over the production, and for Bergeron, it was a clear indication that the show was heading in a direction he could no longer support. "So, at the end of the season, that turned out to be my last season, I kind of knew," he confessed. "I took everything out of my dressing room that I really wanted." It was a quiet and solitary act, a preemptive move by a man who knew his time was up. He was not going to wait for the official word. He was going to leave on his own terms, at least in his own mind. The show had changed, the people in charge had changed, and the sense of camaraderie that had once defined the production was gone. Up until that point, there were people of character there, he said, a subtle but stinging indictment of the new regime. The love affair was over, and all that was left was to pack his bags and say goodbye. The drama surrounding Tom Bergeron's exit was not limited to just him. His co-host, Erin was also let go at the same time, a move that added another layer of intrigue to the already scandalous situation. The network's decision to clean house was a clear signal that they were serious about their new creative direction. But for fans, it felt like a slap in the face. Bergeron and Andrews had developed a natural and easy chemistry, their banter and camaraderie a highlight of the show. To see them both gone at the same time was a bitter pill to swallow. It was a stark reminder that in the world of television, no one is safe. The firing of two of the show's most popular personalities was a bold and risky move, and it was one that would have long-lasting repercussions. The show was entering a new era, one without the familiar faces that had guided viewers through countless seasons of dance and drama. The question on everyone's mind was, who could possibly fill their shoes? The answer would prove to be just as controversial as the firings themselves. In a move that sent shockwaves through the fan base, the network announced that Tyra Banks would be taking over as the new host of Dancing with the Stars. The decision was met with immediate and widespread backlash. Fans were not only upset about the way Bergeron and Andrews had been treated, but they were also skeptical that Banks, a former model and host of America's Next Top Model, was the right fit for the show. Her hosting style was a stark contrast to Bergeron's smooth and effortless delivery, and her on-air gaffes and flamboyant costumes quickly became a source of ridicule and frustration for longtime viewers. The show that had once been a comforting and familiar presence was now a shadow of its former self. The change was defended by then showrunner Andrew Linares, who told reporters that it was all about evolving the show and reaching a new audience. But for many, it felt like a desperate attempt to fix something that wasn't broken. The Tyra Banks era was a tumultuous one, marked by declining ratings and a steady stream of negative press. It was a far cry from the show's glory days, a constant reminder of the beloved host who had been so unceremoniously dismissed. Ironically, in the wake of all the drama and controversy, Dancing with the Stars has been experiencing something of a ratings resurgence. The show, which is now in its 34th season, has been pulling in impressive numbers, a testament to its enduring appeal. But the recent success only makes Tom Bergeron's return all the more intriguing. If the show is doing so well without him, why bring him back now? Is it a genuine attempt to make amends, or is it a calculated move to capitalize on the nostalgia of longtime fans? Whatever the reason, the timing is certainly interesting. The show that once seemed to be on the verge of collapse is now on the upswing, and the return of its most iconic host could be the thing that pushes it over the top. Or it could be a painful reminder of what was lost, a bittersweet reunion that only serves to highlight the show's past mistakes. Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. All eyes will be on the ballroom when Tom Bergeron makes his long-awaited return. After 5 long years, the unthinkable has happened. Tom Bergeron is returning to Dancing with the Stars. The news was announced on Good Morning America, and it sent a shockwave of excitement through the fan base. He won't be returning as the host, but as a guest judge for the show's 20th anniversary episode. It's a small but significant role, a symbolic gesture that suggests a thawing of the once icy relationship between Bergeron and the network. "It feels really good," he said of his return. "I'm really looking forward to it." The announcement was a complete surprise, a twist that no one saw coming. For years, it seemed as though the bridge between Bergeron and the show had been burned beyond repair. His public criticism and candid interviews had made it clear that he was not on good terms with the producers. But now, it seems that time has healed some of the old wounds. His return, even for just one night, is a major victory for the fans who have been clamoring for his comeback. It's a chance to see him back where he belongs, in the ballroom, surrounded by the glitz and glamour that he helped to create. The credit for Tom Bergeron's return can be given to one man, Conrad Green. Green was the original showrunner of Dancing with the Stars, the man who was there when the show premiered in 2005. He left the show in 2014 but returned in 2022 to take over for the embattled Andrew Linares. It was Green who reached out to Bergeron, who extended the olive branch that would ultimately pave the way for his return. "I have to give all credit to Conrad Green," Bergeron said. "I'm happy to say he's back in that role currently, and boy, has he righted that ship." The return of Green was a turning point for the show, a signal that it was ready to move on from the controversial decisions of the past. Green's first move was to invite Bergeron to be in the audience for the show's 500th episode, an invitation that Bergeron politely declined. "I'd be too fidgety sitting there," he admitted, but the seed had been planted. It was Bergeron himself who suggested returning as a guest judge for the 20th anniversary. "If I really suck as a guest judge, they'll never ask me back," he quipped. It was a classic Bergeron response, a perfect blend of humor and humility. The olive branch had been accepted, and the stage was set for a truly historic reunion. For the fans who have stood by Tom Bergeron through it all, his return to Dancing with the Stars is more than just a guest appearance. It's a sense of closure, His abrupt and unceremonious firing was a wound that never fully healed, a constant reminder of the behind-the-scenes drama that had tarnished the show's reputation. To see him back in the ballroom, even for just one night, is a chance to finally say a proper goodbye, to celebrate his immense contribution to the show's success. It's a moment that many thought would never happen, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the enduring bond between a host and his audience. His return is a validation of their loyalty, a sign that their voices have been heard. It's a chance to rewrite the ending of his Dancing with the Stars story, to replace the bitterness and resentment with a sense of joy and celebration. The man who was once the face of the show is finally coming home, and for the fans, it's a moment that has been 5 years in the making. Tom Bergeron is back in the ballroom, but is this a one-time appearance or a sign of something more? His return has reopened old wounds and reminded everyone of the drama that unfolded behind the curtain. What's next for the beloved host, and has Dancing with the Stars truly made amends for the betrayal that shocked the entertainment world? The answers to these questions remain to be seen, but one thing is certain: the story of Tom Bergeron and Dancing with the Stars is far from over. His guest appearance is sure to be a ratings bonanza, a nostalgic trip down memory lane for the fans who have missed his quick wit and calming presence. But will it be enough to erase the mistakes of the past? Can a single night of celebration make up for years of bitterness and resentment? The producers are banking on it, but the final verdict will be up to the viewers. The return of Tom Bergeron is a high-stakes gamble, a move that could either restore the show to its former glory or serve as a painful reminder of a time when it lost its way. The mirror ball is polished, the dance floor is ready, and the whole world will be watching to see what happens next. The king is back in his castle, but for how long? And what other secrets are still waiting to be revealed? The drama, it seems, is only just beginning.